If I was to give you a message, how would I convey that message? If we were in a room and we were going to create a game, how would I convey a message? Well, at the beginning of time, what the Creator did the first 7 days of creation. The first day, there were 3 words. The first day. The T was used twice. The H was used once. In fact, the word the equals to 33. So now let's take the and 33 and put it aside. We also have to note that it is 28 and it is 5. So write that down. Write that down, not to get lost. So we have the word the, and that is 20 plus 8 plus 5. Now, why am I separating the 28 in the TH? Okay, I'm separating the TH because when you go odds and even, T is the 20th letter and it's even, and H is the 8th letter and it's even, and E is odd. Now, the thing is, when you're playing roulette, the 20 and the 8 are both black, but if we shift the alphabet, the T becomes the 25th letter, the H becomes the 13th letter, and the E becomes the 10th letter. We shift everything in order to center the alphabet to 360 degrees instead of 1 through 260 degrees, right? But the question is it up to 26? Is it all of 26? 26 begins at 25.1. 26 begins at 251, right? 25.1. That's when 26 begins, right? The 10 marking, okay, if I would go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right, I would actually reduce 2 by 1. How would I do that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. So when we count it all to a single digit, we reach back at 2. We have done the first one. We've gone from here to here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. That's all we actually got is 18, plus the number we started with, 18 plus 2. Because we can't count both ends. You count this end or that end. Now, there's also a question to that. If you're talking about a shoelace, right? If you're talking about a shoelace, right, you have the end here and you have the end here, and the rest is, right? And then the other side of that shoelace. We have to understand all the situation, what's going on, to understand the numbers. We have to understand, because if it doesn't work, then it's not perfect. You see, they made this place perfect. It was perfect creation, right? So you got to work back to the complete logical. And then over what you see is basically 3, 3, 3, 3. But besides that, so what is the end? Do we need both of these ends, right? Why should I stop over here? Why should I be stopping before? If I stop both of them before, I'd go 4 through 18. I'd be stopping. I wouldn't be touching the ends. So you would look at that. Now you would have to go to the, are we over here or are we over here? And that would be the 50 and the 55-yard line in the NFL and the CFL. That to me would be your difference. It would be counting 1 through 9 or be counting 1 through 10. Now, when you count 1 through 10, we now have separation in the center, right? So we have the extra 5 and 5, right? Because 5 and 5 is not 5 and 5. 5 and 5 is 10. But 1 plus 0 is 1 because 1 divided by 2 equals 5. So if I would take number 4 and go 2 times 4 equals to 8, And 5 times 8 equals to 40. 4 plus 0 equals back to 4 again. 5 and 2 bring things back together. So we go ahead and we looked at 5 works with 2 right there. This is number 74. This is your energy through number 2 and number 5. 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 5, 15. 1 plus 5 equals to 6. 66. So when they were talking 369 energy through the sun, this is what we're actually working with, the 5 and the 2. And the numeric value for 5 and 2 is the Q gate. It is also 2 and 7, the house of bait. This is 5 and 4 inside the sun. 7 and 4 tells me about energy, tells me about Jesus, tells me about time, tells me about the cross. Now, I know it says nobody's here, which is very sad because I think the video is fantastic. So when we say on the first day of creation, we go to the first day. I just use this first because when a story is told, the truth is in every single word. So I will not leave out this. Now, the question is, we're going to go over here on the first day. So the first day and on the first day, God created. So I have to use all these words. I have to come up with an average of all those words used because we were made in God's image. We're just repeating what the birds have put out. Just give me 1 second. I think someone's at the door. Hello? You gonna get something? Actually, I think I have something here to drink. So we have to understand everything. So, like I said, 1 through 9 now. So where does 0 come in? How come 0 doesn't come in? It's like the pinball going into the game, and we're not counting because once you spin it out, it goes into the game and it goes around. It doesn't come back, until you take out another ball. So what happens? We can go over to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then here's 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. And then we're going to go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nope, we're not going to do that. That's a mistake. We're going to go 4, 8, 3, 7, 11, 15, 19, 23, 27, 31. And then we're going to go 5, 10. I'm going to do the long side. Okay. I'm going to do the long side. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And then 5 plus 0 is 5. And then we're going to do 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. And then we're going to do 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, and 80. You notice I'm not doing 3, 6, and 9 because 3, 6, 9 becomes 3, 6. I'm going to just do the base value, okay? It becomes 3, 6, 9, 3. So it finishes on 4. Now it's telling me about levels. Since this ends at 4, these all end at 10. 10 and 4, 2 5s is 10, 2 2s is 4, 3 and 1, right? When you have 3 and 1 on the dice. When you have 3 and 1 on the dice, just give me a second here. When you have 3 and 1 on the dice, and then you turn that over to get 4 and 6, right? Zion, Israel, to man on the 169th moon. 86. 86. Where's 86? Bring out our tools. Bring out our tools. They're right here. Here's 86. How do we get that? See, there's only one dot. Everything else is empty. One dot, There's 8 places that are empty. That's your 8. Number 3. 3, take away these 3, I have 3 and 3. Right? So I got 6. So I got 8 and 6. And this would be the house planet DC10. Well, it's actually 10 DJ, whichever way you want to go. Why? Because the duplication 4 plus 3 equals to 7, plus 2 equals to 9, plus 1 equals to 10. So 4 and 3 is 7, then 2, you would have 9, you would have 7, 9, 1, 1, 7, 9. But I just want to leave it at this. And so if you notice what you began and what you ended with, right? Although this gets inverted to 3. The 1, 2 from this side is 3. And then on that side, it's 7. Creation of the gateway, 3, 1, 3. And that gateway is the moon and the electric moon, 31 plus 13 plus 31, 13 plus 31 plus 13 equals 57, equals 75, and that is what runs your clock, all the movements inside of this. And on the 169th moon, okay, on the 169th moon, you will have 13 years. And it becomes man 28. So now you have man in 169th moon, passing on 13 years, making it man on the moon. Number 28. That alphabet is N and N. 14 and 14 equals 55 and 44. So now where do I get this from? Just give me a second from where I'm going to go. Yes. So what happens is N and N are the 14th and 14th letter. When the two N's come together, you multiply and add it equals to 5 and 4 and 5 and 4. So that will make your 1 and 8. So now when you look where that comes in, right, which is just like M and M, N and N, okay, like in summer. What happens is from this dice cube, you have the 1 dot to the 8 void, so 1 completes 8. So it completes it here. And then in the 28-day cycle of the moon, or 4 by 7, is actually the turnover of a cycle onto the next cycle. And the reason for that is because this cube only goes 1 and 6 equals to 7, and then it goes 2 and 5 equals to 7, and then it goes 3 and 4 equals to 7. Those will be your 7s. So no matter what you do, your next 7 that comes out, right? Your next 7 that comes out will create the 4th 7, regardless of what it is. And now you'll create your 28 days of the moon, but this ends on 21. So now it ends on blackjack. Black 29, Jack 25. Now there's so many things going on. I'm just going to take a little break. No one showed up yet. It's just too bad. It's a little sad. I'd like to take this live with somebody. I'm glad the video started at least. Let me check out on YouTube what's happening. I should check it out to see if Odyssey is still running my channel. Let me go over here to Odyssey. I hope I don't forget what I was talking about because it's all pertinent, you know, it's all pertinent. Okay, we got somebody left me a comment. You watching me now, 6M? Let me see this video that somebody just watched. Good afternoon. Have you ever seen Rubik's Cube or a dice cube or the face of a calculator or your face of your telephone? Well, if you see there's 4 on the outside. So let me take this out here. Let's see what's going on. Hold on a second. But if you look at this, there's 1 on the inside. Since there is an above and below, we have to note that each row is 3 by 3 by 3, therefore relevant to what is Rubik's Cube, relevant to what is the calculator. Now, when we replace this with the alphabet, 1 and 6 reverse, 6 and 1 reverse, we get S, which is the 19th letter. 1 plus 9 equals to 10 equals to 1, J equals to 1, H equals to 8. It is the reverse alphabet. So this whole scenario is created, and all these letters start to come together,
as polars to each other and matching, creating words. As at the beginning of this, A1 equals to ash, FUX. This one equals to life in the sun, begotten in the world of B.
And the reason it's life in the sun, this is Volkswagen, right? Volkswagen. The Volkswagen VW is the total is 45. And when you add up 45, 1 through 9 is 45. That means the one dot goes through the 8 passage, the same way as this over here, right? You only see 9 to a face. But I had to go all the way down to the bottom and use every single row. There are 26 of these. Why? 3 by 3 by 3. The one in the center is a controller, right? And it pops out into the 6 areas. One controller, right, operates 6, born on the 6th day. So when you look at VW, totals 45. So when you add up 1 through 9, it equals to 45. The average is 5. 5 and 9 have the same numeric value. Why I say the sun, the numeric value for the sun is 54. But it's not only that, but it's ironic that the sun and the moon equal 111. And the sun is 3 times 18 equals to 54. The moon is 3 times 19 equals to 54. The sun and the moon equal to a total base value of what is 28 and 37. Why do I get the two configurations? And first of all, there's a separation if we're talking about the 180 degrees. Okay, because there's only 26 letters, right? But if I should take all letters and digits, I would take 26 and 10 counting to 0. But they're all tools, right? It would be 26 plus 9 plus 1. That's the way I want to look at it. Because 9 and 8 equals to 17. 1 plus 7 equals to 8. So you have your first gate over here. The 180 degrees splits over here. Sorry, this is wrong. So this is 9 and this is 3. 39 angel. 10. 39 is the it's not the sky, but hold on a second. I'm trying to think what else is number 39. Saturn is number 93, right? 93, 12, 3 and 9, 12, 9 and 3, 12, 1 and 2, 3, the base creation. This would end up to be the sun, and this one would end up to be the moon. Now there's 3 letters in here. Here there's 4. I want to bring that together. I'm now going to divide this by 4. So it goes 4 times 14 equals to 56 plus 1. I have to see what I'm adding to the game. Am I adding this to the game or am I dividing the house? Because in this one, this dot rests in the void, in the Holy Ghost, connecting both sides. In this one, over here, the dark holes are either separated, right, or in control. What's going on to what is the void and what are the dark holes? According to artwork, if I wanted to recreate this scenario, just give me a second. Here, and then here, here, and then here, right? I would create one of these, and then I would do the same scenario. I'd create the same thing. I'd go 1 block down there. Did I get that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I go here, then I go here, and I create 2 of these. And when I do that, I automatically have 1, 2, 3 empty spaces. But this one is a complete. These are not. So I'm going to close them like that. And I'm going to close this one like this. So that's the beginning of my hexagon. At the same time, it's the beginning of the army stripes, right? Yeah, when I was showing this off, right, Volkswagen equals to 45. This creates 44. The V, the reverse is E. The reverse of W is D. Now, the separation of two letters as C and D, okay, becomes W and X. And do we have X over here? Find me an X. Here's the X right over here. So it goes with number 6. This one over here showed up with number 5, 5 and 4. That one went with number 6. So I have to try and bring my understanding better together. Over here, you also have the gate of bait, the gateway is within bait. But you also have to understand the T is another gateway, 2 different entries, this one and this one. And hold on a second. And we have, I tried to make sure I got a piece of art that can explain a little better. Here, take a look at that. Look at number 7. Look at number 6. Number 7 and number 6. You know what we can also do, Now what it is, right, is right over here is number 7, the square. If you take a look, it's going all the way up, follow it all the way up, all the way up, follow it all the way up to here. They get off at number 7. They move over to the corridor, and then they come inside of here. It's 7, and then right below here, this one, see the way it separates? Don't look at these 2 black ones, right? Look at, we're here. There's one here and one here. So it becomes 7, and what you don't see, number 5 is this one. What connects 7 and 5 is 6 and 6. 6 and 6 is what's connected over here. 7, 6, 6. And in between the 2, where 5 is 9. Now, if you look at the dice cube, 2 dice cube, 5 is reverse of 9. And then 9 goes right in this block, empty block over here. So then where's 8? Well, 8, right? See this over here where it looks like 888, right? Right over here. This is it over here, right over here. 8 is connecting both 6 and 6. And 8 at the same time is getting half of 7. So 8 is split up between 3 areas, 3 and 8. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals 2 and 1, 3. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 equals 2 and 2, 4, 4 and 4, 8. And there's another one on this side. This is the GT entry. And the heart of 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is the 55th heart. I like to look at it that way. I'd have to fill in all the numbers here. I have it somewhere. I wasn't happy with my result. Then we can see it this way when you complete multitudes. And there's also questions here. You can notice here the I is, should I be duplicating these blocks a little bit closer together and eliminating, right? Eliminating both 1 and 2 everywhere. 1 and 2 has been replaced with 8 and 9, and 1 and 2 is base creation of 3. So should we eliminate 1 and 2? Because 1 and 2, what happens after you get to 3 and 4, once your 1 and 2 are inside of that, then I'm just trying to think, then you'd have your 3 and your 4, your 7. That would be your 7th gate. And that would be the overlapping of the 1 and 2. And if you're overlapping 1 and 2, 3 on both sides, anyways, it sounds a little confusing. I'm not even sure if I'm explaining it properly. But anyways, this over here is with 9 numbers, and I'd like to do it with 10, 11, and 12 numbers, right? Understanding 2 cubes. And remember, if we can defragment the cubes, right? Like take them all apart and throw them in the area, how much area space, right? It would take up 26 areas. And how many we have here? 9 by 10 by 100. I think we need 2 cubes in order to complete this. What was I going to do next? Yes. So I tried to see where I can put the Star of David in different sizes using up this area here. And then over here, which is like over here, is the mathematics that go along with this. And there's a couple of mathematics that are in here. Like if you went 6 by 6, it's 36. And you'll come over here. And 36 equals to 9. 3 and 6 equals to 9. I didn't even mark that. But 6 plus 6 is 12. Plus 36 equals to 48. And I look for number 48. Where is number? Hold on, 63. Hold on. 6 and 3. Here's 3. Here's 6. Yeah, so the dot goes right over here, 6 and 3. But the other one equals to 12. So am I going to connect 1 and 2? 6 with 1 and 2, equaling to that 12. Or will I take 6, number 12, and number 36 and 48, right? And then go 48. 4 and 8 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. And then put another dot over here. So how are we going to create the 6 times 6, 36 equals to 9? Or is it going to equal to both what is 3 and 6 and put a dot here? So there's a question on how we're going to put this together, okay? Let me see this. Okay, this over here is, if you note, I got 1, and then I go all the way up to F. So this one over here is 1 and 6, 7. And then you got B, and you go all the way up to E, 2 and 5 is 7. And then you got this one here, and you got CD. So in this kind of artwork, this is how they connect here. I could have went low, and then I could have went around, and then I could have went around and never touched anything. But I did it this way. On this side, what it is I connected here A all the way to I to equal to 10. Then I went B, I went above it, I went to 8, 28, 28-day cycle of the moon, man on the moon, 2 and 8, 1 and 1 is 2. Then we go 3 and 7, 10. And then we go 4, and then we get a candlelight out of number 5. And then we know we get a candlelight on this side. So this side is 10, and this side is 7. And the ironic thing about that is that 5 times 2, 5 plus 2 equals to 10 and 7, 17. So 52, the earth creating the gateway. So that, yes, 5 times 2 is 10, one side, 5 plus 2 is the other side. Also what happens, right, is that 5 and 2 break things in half and put them back together. Like, give me any number, I'll build it. 5 times any single digit number. Let's say 5 by 8. 5 by 8 is 40. Now 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 40 is 80. 5 times 6 is 30. Right? 2 times 30 back equals to 6. Do you follow what I'm saying? I'm just using it to a single digit. Then here, this is the same thing. This is the same thing, okay, as what was this over here. Let's see if I can show you. Where is it again? I wish I can show you both of them at the same time. Well, I can't. Where is it? Just give me a minute. Not that. Okay, here it is. Okay, so what this is, okay, this is the gematria. This is climbing. I'm climbing. So I'm going to see if I can, let me see how far I got to go up. Okay, here. It's climbing. It fits in between here. And it makes the two sides. And then if you take a look at the picture, right, you have the two sides. You're going up to the seventh gate and you're coming down. And let's get back into the thing. Okay, so I guess it's raining somewhere and it's not 47 degrees, right? Wow. Just give me a second to I'm falling out of my zone where I was at the beginning and I don't want to go back in. So I'm going to have to try to stay focused now. If you want to know where I last was, and I don't know who just came on, if you backed up the video, if you want to back it up and I can stop and you can tell me to explain something I already went, just ask me and I'll do it. Because I don't really plan. I just work off the top of my head. I was started off with what happened on the first day of creation. And then I jumped on to some numbers, and I don't know where I should go back and what I should explain, because everything has reason. Everything has reason. There's numbers that go everywhere. Every number tells a different story. So in a second, I have to answer this. Faut que je rappelle, j'ai dans une vidéo. Toi, c'est bon, toi? Okay, bye. Yeah, okay. So yes. Let me see where I'm going to begin with. Oh God, there's just so many things. If you don't know any of my work, dots and dashes. You have to understand the squares, what we can do with them. And the only basic thing I know we can do with them is draw a diagonal line. I don't know what else we can do with them. Oh, we can draw a diagonal line easy, right? We can also draw circles. Let me see if we can also draw circles if we put a point down. So if I put down one of these, right, I can go to any one of these areas in between and make a circle, and then we can find out the degrees. So then we can understand these dots a little bit more. And note that in this one, there is no center. So I'll be going from each one of these dots. Then after the circles crisscross each other, I'll find new points to go over until I understand where the center of this is through those circles. At the same time, in order to find the center of this, all I have to do is cross through here and I can create the center. But I can also create the center by passing a different way. And as it gets larger, I can now pass it this way. Understanding the hexagon, right? Noting that we've cut 4 corners off a square. Hold on a second, where was I? I wrote this down somewhere. I just did it just now and I can't find it. Oh boy. Oh yeah. I think, okay, there it is, right? When I designed this over here, right, I created only the 3 areas. You see, if we were playing Tetris, for those who know the game Tetris, because everything that's ever been created shows up somewhere. It's in a game, it has rules, and things that can't happen, don't happen in games, doesn't happen in life. What's magical? What's magical? You made it disappear. Here it is. Made it disappear. This time you saw me. If I was faster than you, or if I created you slower than me, you would never see it. or if I made a color that you can't see. But don't ask me. Just remember the days of creation. Man and animal were made on the same day. Some of them can't see color. Do you notice the black Star of David? There's 3 points that go between, right? And there's 3 that go to the center. It is the reader and the separation. Is that what you call male and female? I don't know. For me to understand that I made that statement and I shouldn't have, I'm just going to look at it another way. The male is a 1. The female is a 0 with a donut hole. But what if we have cream filled? Then you have to turn it sideways because they have to stick it in sideways in order to get the cream inside the filling. So you're no longer holding the donut hole this way. You're now holding the donut this way. So first you were holding the donut this way, now this way, and because you're not filling up. If you're filling up the donut, you fill it up from the side, right? This way. But if you're going to be passing into something, the pass is this way. Oh, look at that. I got a hexagon right there. Let me see. I'm going to read some of the comments. Can you tell me what this specifically means? Guest name is Ron. I'm asking you this. Let me see what this is. Okay, it all ends in MY, which is 38. Okay, ham is communication, and this is communication with 3 parts of which with all the whole, with all 3 periods. It's a cycle in the moon. It takes 4 to make it. Ham is supposed to be ham radio. M is 13, connected to the moon, the 1 spirit of heaven. The H and A come together, and they also come together because the H is in the A family, equaling to what is 9. So it's passage, and it happens to be the cycle in the moon. I'm only saying that because M and Y equals to 38, where M is 13 and Y is 25, representing Earth in the house of Bait. The reverse of Y, okay, 25 equals to 2. If we go into gematria, the Y is now number 2 itself, and it is in the 2nd house. It is in the house of O. O and N come into the house, and that's where pi is created, 3.14159265, because through those numbers, letters N and O, or 15 and 14, okay, equal to what is 29. And the reason I say that is because the second half of the alphabet, which begins at N, the second letter is O, as to where the second to last letter to what Z is Y, Y being the 25th letter in the alphabet, although it's operating from the 2nd position in gematria at the 7th gate. Did you follow that? Should I repeat it? Because I can. And the only reason I can repeat if I forget something is because it already exists. It's already out there. I'm just reading the script. That's it. And you could too. I'm not doing anything different than you. No need to go back. Pine nuts, hexagon, face orange, raised eyebrows. So if you're saying face orange, you know that's funny because I was working on this piece here. Wow, there's another piece I wanted to see. I wonder if I have the oranges. Oh yeah, here it is. Just wanted to show you this over here. I'm not sure if you can see this. And I'm going to open this with paint. So let me see if I can just get some stuff out of the background here. I wanted to work on these circles in a minute. Okay, and there, this is over here. Let me move this to the side. Let me just show you this for a second. So what happens here is I'm going to go ahead and just show you that I can go from here to here to here, right? And if you look at the deck of cards, the Jack has this exact design like that. That's the crown of the king and the Jack. So we have to understand how it's plugging into here because there's pieces that go up, right? Either this is the water and this is the land. So if I was to continue this, right, we would end up, let's like this, and like that. And if you take a look, we have a hexagon. And now if we wanted, maybe we can, you know, maybe we can have some kind of animal there. And when each one of these turns, this turns once, twice, and then back to its other side. Once, twice, back to the other side. Once, twice, back to the other side. So this will make 2 turns, and the third turn, this one turns. And then this will make 2 turns, and on the third turn, this one turns again. And this will make 2 turns, and the third turn, this one moves again, okay? And it's done 3 sides. And then the same thing for this one, the same thing for this one, the same thing for this one, and then you start to run your cycles. And then what are your numbers that are coming in here? Should I be creating rectangulars out of this? Should there be 3 of these in a row? How should these be noted, this area? Okay, so we're going to skip off of that. I'm going to see where I'm going next. Let me get myself back in order. I was just getting a few things out of the way. I wanted to do something on circles for a minute. I'm going to get to those. I can get to the circles after. Who's been cut off of what? I don't know who's been cut off of what. You have to help me with that. If someone's been cut off, you have to help me. Days of man, mark of the beast, 0, 0, 0. All zeros are 6s because all 8s, when double 0 comes together, it's an 8. It looks like an 8. If I put a dot here and a dot here, right? If I put a dot here and a dot here, the question is something turning around that dot? Is that the center of the donut hole? How do we connect our gears? What's going on? What is a solid and what is not? We have to understand what they are so you can understand the numbers that go along with it. So we can find out. I can't always explain certain things. I can see it, but I just can't. Is that my poor excuse? Call it what it is. You know what I'm saying? We're learning at the same time. Right. Pastry. Right. Pastry. Yes. Pastry chef. And you know what's funny? It's that chef, right, is 3, 8, 11, and then EF is 5, 6, 11. So chef is 11, 11. So that's going to equal to 22. And note that all the letters, right, are in the lower house, right? And that on one side, H is relevant. On the other side, F is relevant. And H and F is 8 and 6. Anyways, yeah, so when you put, I'm just trying to see birth of man, F and C come together. That's your rotation. When 6 and 3 come together, see 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's your base creation. You don't need 1 and 2. 3 and 4 is 7. 5 and 6 is 11. The proof is in the pudding. What? You want to know the question? Okay. You see 9 here. You see 9 here. You see 1 here. So if you see 1 here, how many are on each face? How do you determine it? Well, you can see there's 3 different sections. You can see above and below. So therefore, each one is 3. It's 9, just like this. So when I see 5 here, I know there's 4 missing. So this is 5 and 4. And this is 2 and 7. 7 and 4 energy, 7 and 4 cross, 47 time, 74 Jesus in the cycle of man creation in the house of creation. 11. Now, 28 plus 11 or minus 11. If I add 28 and 11, it goes 39. It becomes 10 angel, the mirror angel. If I minus, it becomes 17. It becomes the Q gate in earth. Why? Because to create number 17, 5 times 2, 5 plus 2 equals to 10 and 7, 17. That creation is in Mars. It is the house of DC in Mars. Why? Our vibration is noted to be 2, 3, and 4. I don't care which way it is. And there's mathematical realities that will tell you more stories. But 17 and 17 is 34. CD. When you have 17 and 17, 34, because 43 through two numbers does not work. Okay, 34. So 34 is CD and it's not DC. It's also to know that CD is also cold. Why is it cold? Number 34 for cold equals to 34. You notice cold, right? Cold. Dog and cat, D and C, right? The hydrant for the dog, the sand for the cat. The sand is for the cat, for C for creation. Cat, number 24, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, 8 and 6 in the big house, the dividing gate of man. Let me look a little bit deeper into this. Fringe, highway far out west do art. Baker's dozen. Okay, now we have to understand a little bit about the baker. The reason we're throwing out now, not only we're throwing it out because it's going somewhere else. In order to have reception on the telephone, reception from what? Somebody's got to be speaking. Operator, you know what I'm saying? Somebody's got to be speaking. Operator, you know that half moon that goes around when the telephone truck goes on by? Do you think these were not made in the face of creation? They're all replicas in what is going on in our creation. All replicas. It's not something new. Just because man made it, man was made in God's image, but don't make God's image, right? Is that the term they use? Anyways, the first day creation, right? The first day of creation, the first thing that happened was the first day. You have to speak of the words because in order to tell the story, you had to write the blueprints for creation. Therefore, the words before you say anything are the first words. You can say in, the, of, it, I, whatever one you want to choose, but you're going to choose a word. And that word came to be for the reason of creation. $13. Did you know number 13 also is derivative of 13 is a derivative of what is all creation in 99. Remember, 99, 55. You have to understand there's a difference. What animals are born in the 5th month or something. I have to understand, but there's a difference. The reality is because the 9 is a polar to the 5. And that's love. The 9 is a polar to the 5. The 9 is a polar to the 5. And every number gets a word. This also gets you 45 void, 5 void, and 4 void. 7 void and 6 void, 13. Ram, 13. 7's missing here and 6 are missing here, 13. And you put the two together, it's one of the rare words that will say love. And you don't add any letters for its duplication. What I mean, the reverse alphabet of love is love. You can also say velo, rhyming with yellow. Let me continue down, read a little bit more, then I'm going to show you the circles. Stuck on you. Stuck on you. I gotta think of that. Well, I believe you could have a few things stuck on you as the magnet. Okay, the magnet is a U. It's white, it's blue, and it's red, creates purple. Purple is number 88, connected to Pegasus. It's also related to the word, like when you play cards, they call it the trump card, is 88, which creates a gate. And it's also part of the what was broken down to create the gate in man at the age of 13. And I'm going to tell you more about 13 is because, God, I don't even know where to start. There's so many connections. You see, 13, if we break apart 7 and we go into the house of bait, right? we have 3 on the left, 1 in the center, and 3 on the right. Or do we go here? This would be 3, 3, 3. It's 3, 1, 3 only on this one over here, because the center one here is missing. 3 on this side, 1 in the center, 3 on this side. I won't say it on the other side because I see the 3 dots all together, right? But it can be, we can discuss it. So here, number 7 is here. So 88 is missing with number 7, right? 88 is right over here because that 1 includes the heavens, right? See that 1 in the void? It includes that 8. 8 and 7 equals to 15. Number 51 is Mars. 1 and 2 is Mars. That's your home base. Like when I speak, it could be the complete opposite. It could be everything I say about is Mars is Earth, and everything I say about Earth is Mars. Just like when I associate the moons. But okay, when I associate the moons of Mars, it's 1 moon between 2 moons. It's 2 towers with 1 new tower going in between the 2. So we took away the 2 old towers and replaced it with 1 tower. Can't read the whole page by heart, no. Three, 8, 11. That's you know, like the VW comes together. The V comes with the W. That's what like 3, 8, and 11 is. And yes, 11, 11, and 22. Yes, that will create your 3 and your 8. Yes, yes, yes. Right over here, right? And also, I want to show you something that this is both the 3rd finger, 5 and 3, right? 5 and 3, 8. And at the same time, it's the 8th finger, the 3rd and the 8th. But it's not the 11th. The 11th finger, or the element, is 5, 10, and either this one or this one, or this one or this one. We don't know if it's the right or the left hand because it's 11. So which one 11s? 5, 10. And then we can look at it another way. Once you use these 10, we have to go to the toes. So maybe when you get to 11, you've reached the hands or you're down by the toes. I don't know. That equation over there is 11 is 1 and 1 is 2. Also note that 11 is also a division. And the reason I see 11 as a division, actually, I just should say it moves a level and a division. A division because of the artwork, okay, and because of what happens in order to be 11. The actual only 11 in the game of blackjack is noted to be the ace. Ace 11. Noted that in order to create 3, you need 2 aces. Ace and ace, 1 and 1 is 2, and it's 2 and 2 you need to create 8. So your whole equation slips into itself. 88 times 3 is 240, and 24 is 244, 254, 264, 266. I'm just thinking I've just multiplied it and added. 2 times 8 is 16, by 3 is 48. 48 for 950, 61, the church spirit. I'm just trying to understand what that means. FR 3456, the doctor is going to buy us all donuts, Jesus man. So if you go say Jesus man, you got 74 and 28. You also, Jesus also needs a reduction over to 55. Jesus also gets a reduction to 55, in which he means drive alive at 55 and I am freedom. And the reason for this is that during the 70s or late 80s that I remember, could have been even into the 90s, when I was driving the interstate in the US, I used to see the gas station 76, and then I heard there was July 4th is because of 1771 and 1776. And then when you do the math, in order to get 76, you actually need 13. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 equals to 7 and 6, 13. 7 times 6 is 42, plus 13 equals to that 55. So that 55 will create 25 and 10, 35, and that is your creation of the E-world. I know I went through that fast, and when you create that, it now forms a passage in both moons, 11, the divided pass. what happens is 13 equals to both what is 55 and 44. We know in the cube, the reverse of this is this. That creates a gateway. Did I do that right? No, I did that wrong. Creates a gateway. I'm showing one number and I'm showing another. And the reason for that is this is 9 and 6 equals to 15, right? Showing it as 15 and not Mars 51. I have to try and figure out what I can do with that. I can go 6 by 15 equals to a 90-degree angle, or I can go 4 by 15 equals to the 60 degrees on the clock. This is the way the formation works, and this is the way the number shows up. 51 is Mars. So I call this, what I need to do in every single game is you need 4 games for it to be perfect, and then you need 7 games, okay, when the series is tied up at 3 and 3. So we just have to understand all the everything that's going on. We have to understand. We also have to note that 13 has a value of 99, to where 28 is what the cycle in Jesus man. Remember, we were talking about this 74, and it happens to be 102, which is Valentine. And it happens on the 45th day of the year. There's 321 days remaining, or 107 equals to the word 20, to where 5 times 2, 5 plus 2 equals to 10, equals to 7, equals to 17. When you multiply it by 3, it then creates 51, and we're now connecting to Mars. Blue Mars, for blue Earth. Now, if you multiply it by 4, it equals to 68, and now we have the dividing 7th gate. And we have that 7th gate because when you have 62 to your 5 and 1, okay, you end up with your 77, and we just take the dice and we flip them over, and we have our 51. So we count it, 6 and 2 equals to 8, 1 and 5 equals to 6. Now, there's mathematics that go along with this, and what's ironic about this is 12 and 8 equaling to 20, and this one over here equals to 5 and 6 equals to 11. Do you see what I see? This is where the house divides. 2, 1 and 1 is 2. They both become 2. They're both equal to each other, and they divide the gate, and the payout is 7 for every 6 chips laid. And that 7 is where 16 comes in, and I multiplied it, and then I added it, and then I multiplied it, and then I added it, and it equaled to what is 55, and I minus it, and I have 29. That is birth at the IT system DNA inside the sun in the house of Bait on electric Earth. 35 equals 25 and 10. And when you look at it, 1 plus 0 is 1, 2 plus 5 is 7. And that is your Q gate in the mirror world, JQ. The reverse alphabet of Q is J, and that's where the mirror world comes in. 2 and 5 equals to 7. Now, although Q as 17, it now refers to 8, and J becomes 1. Now, when you take this, we now see that 1 and 8 are together. 8 forms with 1, and that's where Q comes in. And it's inverted over to 6. When we do an the alphabet shuffle from 260 to 360, it's A1 will now become A6 when you center the alphabet. So A1, okay, through E5, okay, are going to be retired as 32 32E over to 36I will also be retired, and you'll be playing in between what is 6 through 31. So 1 through 5 equals to a total of 15. 32 through 36, right, will equal to That's right. Look at that. House planet of DC. Why DC? Because it's 3 and 4. 3 and 4. Where's the 3 and the 4? Here's the 3, and here's the 4. You see that? 3 and 4 and 3 and 4. 2 times 3, 6. 2 times 4, 8. It's absolutely perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Even when we do a little bit more math with it, it's still going to come out perfect again. And that's the division of the 7th gate. And we have the word house, planet. Just to note that if you want to know anything about red or blue, you can also go hot and cold, right? These numbers, as hot, it's number 30. That 77 is also noted that when you go around here, it's 7 and 7 coming together, noting as the ring, otherwise up and down, 7 noted as the pole. 2 areas for a pole, 4 areas for the ring. The average around here is 14 divided by 4 equals to 3.5. The average between these two areas, 7s, 7 divided by 2 equals 3.5. So we know they slip together 88. The ring and the pole, 88. 88, bronze is derived from 88. The numeric value for bronze is 80. And 64 and 16. 8 times 8, 64. 8 plus 8, 16 equals to 80. Well, take a look. 6 and 4 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 and 6 equals to 7. 88 creates another 17. 52 creates another 17. 18 creates another 17. 18 is derived from 99. I don't remember where 52 comes from, but I know it comes from a simple thing. Hold on a second. I got to take this call. Oui, pardon, je ne l'ai pas fini, mais je prends un break pour 2 minutes. Non. Ben, ça n'arrête pas. Quand je commence, si j'ai de quoi dire, je répète. Je lis des choses, j'essaie d'expliquer. Ben, c'est dur à l'expliquer, mais anyway, comment ça va? Je sors pas à soir. Oui, oui. Et quelle heure? Ah non, c'est trop tard. Trop tard. La prochaine fois. OK. OK, c'est bon. C'est bon. Bye. OK. Okay. So where were we? Let me check out time waves. Yes, I was talking earlier, and I don't know if you were here to listen to that. There's these squares. There's only one way through them. It's this or it's this. That's it. You can do that. You can do that. You can do that. After that, you have to create a little bit more size, right? And you create the size. What happens is you go from over here and you go down over here. Now you've created an angle, and now it's telling a different story. Now we can tell a different story. Or we can do that like that. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And guess what? Now we have to do that because that's the center. It's that or it's that. And in order to understand that, it's either that, okay, or it's that, and together it's that. But this one will only be this, and the reality of that one will only be this. This is the first one. This is the second one. We'll either have 4 squares and 1 square, and that is the beginning. Now, if you want to understand reality, the reality is that's your 180 degrees. So if we had to work with one cell, would I be working just with that? Because in this world, we're working with A, B, C, because D starts over again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. And every time you do that, what's happening? I'm not sure if it's exactly that way, but we have to note that number one, okay, is not always what it seems to be. It's an odd number that plays in the even house. It plays in both houses, number one. Only number one does that. No other number does it. And it does it at 10. 10, it is not like 1. 19 is not like 10. 28 is not like 19, but 28 and 10 are the same. Like 19 and 1 are the same. Like 37 and 19 and 1 are the same. 10, 28 and 10, 28 and 46 are the same, and 64 are the same, and 82 are the same. Just like which other one is it? 73 and 91. And the reason for this is on the roulette board, that's what it is. The one switches from black to red to black every second number. So there's going to be a different piece of artwork, a different design that's going to come out of it. You know, and what happens in one part of the design, because over here, right, I just did it differently because over here is where 10 goes. 1, 4, 7, and 10 goes here. 1 plus 0 is 1. But I skipped it. I went to the next one. Over here is number 13. 1 plus 3 equals to 4. Over here is number 18. 4 and 9 is 13. I connect both 4 and 9 in the corners. Connect both 4 and 9 in the corners. Split right through, and I get this. All I'm connecting here is 7 and 13. The Mayans, they had this grid stone that ran in 7 and 13. And note 13, 7 times 13 is 91. There are 13 the cards in a deck for each suit. 7 times 13 is 91. And when you add 1 through 13, it equals to 91. Note that 13 is 1 and 3 is 4. 13 is also man, which is also 99, and which creates one of the gateways. 13 also creates a freedom pass, and that reason for that freedom pass is because the word, it's actually a sky pass. The word sky is 55 and pass is 55. Now, since the reverse cube is 2, is that sky pass at the gateway through 22 of life? So 55 would be 22 and 22 would be ape. The 22nd letter would also be life. It will also create the H, the 8 for heavens, in which ignites the single dot, because the 8 is apparent only over here, the heavens in 1. The mathematics of this, okay, are going to give me 88. 5 times 5, 25. 5 plus 5, 10. 10 plus 25 equals to 35. 3 plus 5 equals to 8. 2 times 2 equals to 4. 2 plus 2 equals to 4. 4 and 4 is 8. The reverse pole of what is 25 Earth and your freedom is 88. The sky pass, Pegasus, purple. Purple associates red and blue. Red and blue equals to 40 and 27 equaling to 67, also noted as soul, also noted as water. 6 and 7 equals to 6. 5 plus 1 equals to 6. And 5 plus 2 equals to 7. Do note that the numeric value for Earth is 52, and that creates your 17 Q gate. And the numeric value for Mars, okay, is 51. 5 and 2, 7. 5 and 1, 6. Spirit is 76. Earth and Mars, matter and energy, and it will create these numbers. The 13th letter and the 5th letter is a capital letter. If you go to the game of pool, the 13 ball is orange and the 5 ball is orange. So since they're orange, orange is number 60, right? You would automatically have to mention red and yellow. So you mention yellow, red and yellow, the 13 and the 5, you would automatically get the 3 and the 11 and the 1 and the 9. Because in pool, 1 and 9 are yellow, 3 and 11 are red. So this one equals to 14, this one equals to 10, this one equals to 18. So this will be I, this will be E, and this will be A. And also note that the 1, 3, and 5 says A, C, and E. And also the S is the 19th letter, 1. The U is the 21st letter, 3. And the N is the 14th letter, E. This is their reality. And when you look at the dice, only these dice are the only one that can contain a center. The rest of them do not. But also note that these two have a double configuration. I'll explain it in a minute. And on this side, there's only one with a double configuration. It's the 3. What I'm saying is because the 3 can go here, here, and here, right? But if you put the 1 dot, you don't know which way it can go. And if you put the 5 dot, you can turn it any which way on its side. You can turn it any which way on its side, and you'll never know what's on top. But you will know with the 6. When the 6 is in this position, you automatically know it's the H position. In the H position, the 4 and the 3 are the opposite, right? But when the 6 is in this position, right, in the I position, you know the 2 and the 5 is opposite, right? And why do I call it like this? Because see that dot in the center? You can create the I letter out of that. And if I was a kid and I wanted to make a game out of something, that's only a normal way to see things. Just give me a second. Just hopefully I don't get lost anywhere. Yeah, so we were working on 13, and in 13, what happens is the T and H, the only time it happens is after bronze is made, and inside what is the elements of bronze are the elements in our creation, and bronze is for the third creation, to runner up of what is 1 and 2, right? Alpha, beta. And then after that, the runner up to third is the runner up. It's fourth. And with fourth, to put forth. So what happens with fourth? TH begins from what is third, what is second, and what is first. I like to just say stand on 17. So we'll maybe stand on our DNA because that's DNA. I like to look at that as spirit time, but you can call it what you want. But 17 is back to our Q date. Since we're standing on 17, we have 88, we have 99, we have 52 or 25, whichever way you want to look at it. I'm trying to see all the different ways. Yes, you also have 55, 22. 8 times 8, 64. 8 plus 8, 16. This will create 1. This will create 7. 9 times 9, 81 or 18. So since it creates only itself again at 99, I go one more move with it, and it becomes 8 and 9 equaling to 17. And it's the only number that creates 17 and 72. It creates its polarity of 1 and 2. So they cross through the 7th gate. Only 8 and 9 do it. And that's the H and I letter. It comes out of number 6 regardless, where creation comes in, and there's 3 void to the 1 dot. It's the only true 7 on the dice. If you drill holes in this entire dice, only 2 sides will come out with 7, here and here. 1 and 6 equals to 7. 6 and 1 equals to 7. All the other sides, 2 and 5 equals to 5. 3 and 4 equals to 5. So now what you have is 17. There's your 17. So it has nothing to do with what I do. I'm just showing you where it is. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2. Okay, this is where 8 came out. And this one is where 8 came out. 17 came out through 10, and 7 equals to 17 over here. Okay, I'm just trying to see that I don't overlap on things that I'm doing. So we know what 6 and 8 is. We did 6 and 8. Did we do 6 and 8? Forget about 1 and 7, okay, because it's not in the game. But if we had to make 6 and 8, we would go 6 and 1, and we'd have to go 7 minus 1. But on the dice, we don't have that 8. Our 8s are 2, 6, 5, 1, 3, 5, 4, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. So you're going to note that the 3 is opposite of the 4, and number 33 will be 44. That 53 will be 42. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is what's going to create your separation to the 7th gate. Equals 8 equals 6 to the house planet. Through this, that's electric company. When I do that, if I had to connect the moon to that, I would be connecting 7 and 5 electric company or the moon to what is 35, and I'd create 1 and 1. I need to create a formation. You can create all the formations you want, but the base formation through how we run the Gregorian calendar is 741. Also, when you bring things to before you jump into the mirror, which is 4, right, the other side of 3. And the reason for that, why the other side of 3? Because A, B, C equals to 6F, and D, 4D equals to 10J. So you've now flipped over this cube from 1 over to 6, okay? And you started back at 1 again. So also, if you do this, you go A, B, C, and D starts over again. 1 starts over again. So that's why the 4th one is a polarity, and so is it here. So the proof is on this reality. I'm trying to think where else I was. 3 times, 4 times. Hold on a second. I just lost myself. I explain a little bit extra, and then I lose myself where I was. It had to do with the 4th part. It had to do with the 4th part. I didn't finish this one either. Not very happy with that. I lost myself. Anyways, that was 10. I'm going to have to just get a glass of water. I'm going to be back in a second. Take off this hat. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. I have to slow down maybe a little bit. Yeah, okay. I'm going to get back to it in a minute. I want to find out where I was. Oh, yes, I was talking about 7 and 6, 13, and I multiplied it and I had it right. So when you do that, also you notice that 7 times 6 is 42. So it's at that point where we create the divided 7th gate. 4, 2, 2 on one side, 4 on the other, 3 divides the 2. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 equals to 6 and 8. But that's with 1. 3 and 4 is with 1. And 3 and 4 is with 2. 3 and 4 is 7. So you have that. That's where is the example from. So in order to make everything perfect, what I do is I'll divide everything by 2, 3, 4, which is our vibration. The reverse of 2, 3, 4 is 6, 7, and 8. And the reason for that is 8 and 2, 10. 7 and 3, 10. 6 and 4, 10. I know they're polars of each other, each one of them. And the ones that separate are 1, 5, and 9. Also to note that 3, 6, and 9 are not like the other numbers. In fact, more 3, 6, and 9 is a derivative of the other numbers. Now I remember, I think what I was talking about is 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 by 7 is 21. 2 and 1 is 3. Always comes back to 3. And 3 and 9 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3.
So those are your perfect connections. You're 12. If you're going to count your 12 and you're 13, and understand the separation is that 3 and 9 is 12, you have 2 cubes. But 4 and 9 is 13. They connect to each other on a polar side, and now your 4 connects to 9. Did you follow what this is? The gearing of the Mayans that I was talking about 5 minutes ago is 13 and 7, and 7 and 13. So understanding what 7 and 6, 13 is the reverse of the exon gu, exon grav, to this side 13, to this side 13. What is above is what is below 3 and 4, 7 to 6 and 1, 7. So when we start to understand what all the numbers start to mean, we have to understand where they've been put into our lives, because that's what they'll have to mean to us of everything we were ever taught. And then we have to build from within there. Also, the word teen is a division between area space, and the French do not use teen, but they do separate the alphabet when it comes to 17, 18, and 19, because they repeat to say 10 when they get to 17 Mars, 18 the sun, 19 the moon. So between the sun and the moon, it splits. The 360 degrees split between 18 and 19, 37. And that's where your 30, that's where your 1 through 36, 360 degrees split between the sun and the moon. Where do I get this number? If you look at the roulette wheel, 1 through 36. If you look at the roulette wheel, okay, 1 through 36, right over here, it splits between 18 and 19. 18 is over here, down by the feet, and 19 is over here. 19 is over there. If we want to see that somewhere else, I think that's the same image. No, it's not. Let me see. Do I have the other image? I have that. Let me see. I have that image there. And what's this one? Yeah, this is another one, another setup of 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Yes, this one is the roulette wheel, but there's just the multitudes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Notice the X is what connects all the odd numbers. Notice the O is what connects the even numbers. X is the 24th letter, 2 and 4, 6, to where O is the 15th letter, 1 and 5, 6. Note that on a dice cube, 1 and 5, 6, 2 and 6, 1 and 5, 6, 2 and 6, 8. Where else? Yeah, we were doing it here. Also, where these octagons come in, you can see the 2 hexagons, which are both 6 and 6, connect to what is an 8, 6, 8, 6. Just looking at that relationship. You can also note that it looks like a ring. If you want to go over here, we're showing number 42. So that's where it's explained how things are divided. And when you look at 51, 84, 51 being Mars and 84 being Pluto, when you divide this apart, right? When you divide this apart, wow, I took off my thing and now I forgot what I was talking about. Hold on a second. Let me go back and see where I was. I'm just trying to see where I am. What was I doing here? Oh, and there's also over here, you see the hexagon going the other way over here? Now the question is, what is this hexagon over here? It's number 3 and 3 over here connecting to 12 and 12. So number 33 is creating this hexagon, and 3 and 3 is 6, and it is a hexagon. Here's number 12, and here's number 12 in roulette. Wow. Oh yes, was it 18 and 19 that I was talking about? Wow, I don't remember. I'm not very. Oh, I was talking about here. Yes, okay. So 51. Hold on a second, and 84, and then the 53 degrees on the top, right? And the color it is. Okay, so we have 51, 84. So we have 17 and 28. We have 8 and 1. We have 1 and 8 again.
comes together right here. This comes together through 74 Earth, which creates 28 and 11, equaling to what is 17, 28, and 39. 11 plus 39, 11 minus 17. It's showing you the equation over here without giving you the result. But it comes from number 74, which comes from number 25, Earth's number, a Q gate. The reason for that is, again, we're going to go to number 2, and we're going to go to number 5. And we bring this over here, and we'll change it up for area spaces. So when we take off 2 dots, we'll have 7 dots with this one here in the center. See, they'll have 3 here and 3 here. See all these hearts? There's a heart here, and a heart here, and a heart here, and a heart here. There's 4 hearts. Here's a 7 heart. Here's a 19 heart. Here's a 23 heart. And here's a, we'll just do it this way. 2, 3, 6, 6, 9, 8, 8, 7, 4, and 1, 4, 2 equals to 7, equals to 19, equals to 23, equals to 11, 2, 5, 1, 7. Just trying to look at what it is. 18, 2, 36, 72 by 6, 4, 24, 32. Is that what it is? 9 times 6, 54. 9 times 6, 54 by 8 is 2, is 3. 4, 3, 2, our vibration coming right out of this. This one is 56 by 208. Anyways, I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but this over here is Mars. This is the cycle of the moon. It's 1/3 of what the total numeric value to what Pluto is. Pluto is noted to be the 9th planet. Mars is noted to be the 4th planet. 4 and 9 come to a connection over here as 13, as 6 Saturn comes to Uranus, and they create a passage. But that passage is not a 45 pass, so it's not a sun pass. Because if it's a 45 pass, it would have to be like this. But this is opened up. And more things in life are rectangular that we do business with than are square. There's more linear. When you buy, obviously, plumbing or piping that's long, but plywood comes in 4x8 sheets. Many things come more 4x8 than they do in squares, unless you're going to tiling. And now there's both kinds of tiling. Anyways, I was referring more to lumber. As Moses, Noah, and Jesus all worked with wood together. So let me see where I am. Yeah, so 4 brings it to the other side. And there's 2 equations I like to work with. Fighting the polar bear. Yeah, it's 1 and 2 that makes everything, or 2, 2, and 2, or just 1. 1 is in the center all the time, and 2 are on the outside. 2's on the outside, 1 is in the center. You know what I'm saying? 1 is always in the center. That's where it is. You can't do anything about it. And 1 is a point. I believe it's a division, is what 1 is. And just to note that if you want to get to this letter, to me, that's the letter D. And if you want to maybe look at this letter from Greek, that's the letter C. So if I put them on top of each other, I end up with the letter A. So the letter A has a possibility of a division. And since it has that possibility of a division, it has to do with an angelfish, because that's what it designs. And then it shows you that it's in the E world. Once it gets divided, it started off with C, ended up as E, 3 and 5, and that's your link to the moon, your electric moon. So you end up with DC, when the house of DC, 33 and 44 equaling to mass. This is a division of night and day. 4 times 4, 16. 4 plus 4, 8. It becomes 7 and 8 when added. That's a division. Your 7 shows up here, and your 8 shows up here. showing me a division. This is G and H. This 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is what it creates 8 and 6. So you're going to create your dividing 6 and 8, and here is your 6 and 8 created through that number. There's a whole division in your DC. Mass equals to that, and that will show you 6 and 9, which is a reflection of love and the sun. There is other numbers that are perfect that will reach 54. Love is a perfect number. The reason for that is L12 reverse O15, V22 reverse 5E. So love is 54, and it's the only four-letter word that remains a four-letter word with no other mathematics. So it becomes 4 times 13.5 equals to that, because there's 4 letters, and the average is 13.5. Matter and energy, the orange, the 5 ball and the 13 ball, Jesus and Christ coming together, the division of the IT system. 5 times 4, 5 plus 4 equals 9 in 2029, and it happens to show up at a gate because T is one of the gates to G. G and T, both gateways in gematria. I believe that EMP, right? EMP is, I don't know, empower. We can use that as M and E as matter and energy. If we just want to use the ME in the letters, which is encompassed or bookended by H and P. So now I would have to try and 8, 5, 13, 26, 36, 42. Yeah, it shows me 42. You're dividing the heavens with the 6 with the 8, the big 6, the big 8. Note the big 6 comes from number 27. Both 27 and 35. Both 27 and 35, right, equals to 23. And the 8 and the 9, okay, the 8 and the 9 are basically in the same house. You get 8 with 1 is 9, right? It doesn't show you that in the deck of cards. In the deck of cards, they show you there's 2 houses. It's rectangular. It's not square. Okay, okay. This is 8 and 9, H and I, right? 14 and 15 becomes 5 and 6, 11, and this becomes 8. It becomes 8 and 2. So right away, I know 28. I know we came into 4th place. 28, the cycle, 4th, because otherwise it'd be 3rd. They're all the first of their kind. T and H is the first of its kind. It's the first time T and H will happen. After 3rd, 5th is a repeat. A time gate alpha, angelfish, electric moon, 54. Love has no math. 13.5 says ace, sun, love. And ace is 9, and sun is 9, and love is 9. It's also 18, okay, or the letter R for Reich. We live in the sun, the house of the Third Reich, right? But if it's 3 on one side, it's 7 on the other side. So 7 by 18 is 72, the house of Bait. What I'm doing is I'm going to reduce it, since it's a big number, to a small number, but I will go 7 times 8 is 56, and 70 is 126. 126 at 216. 216 is the moon, 2160. It's 1.5 times, which is a reflection of what the payoff is in blackjack, and what is Mars, 1/4 time. And why we use the 15 minutes, because the 1/4 of the game of what reflects Mars is actually the numeric value to Earth, number 2 and 5, the 7th, the gate. Ace, sun, love. 7 come 11. That's what I was showing you before. When you take out 1 dot here and 3 dot and 6 dots here, you get 3 and 8. 1 and 6 is where the 3 and 8 are on this. And that's your creation of 13 and a gateway. Let me explain that a little bit better. The 6 is actually, depending on how you want to measure this or break this dice up, right? Because in the game of craps, I mean, in the game of roulette, you can't bet 9 numbers. So I'm assuming possibly that this dice came in pieces. Maybe just the corners came together and the insides were void. I don't know. I'd have to understand that a little bit deeper. I'd have to break them up or get. Oh, I got a bunch of them to play. I'll have to just remove the dots to begin with. Yet 2160, 1.5 times 1440 equals to 2160. 1440 are the same number of minutes in a day. Now, if I take this Rubik's Cube and to count each one of these, and there's 26 of these. If I take this apart and imagine there was this stuck together, and there are 26. 26 by 6 is 156. 156 by 9 is 1404. 1440 minutes in a day. In order to go around Monopoly, although there's 40, you have to go to 41 because you cannot get the first property in Monopoly. You've gone all around the board because you have 2 dice. Now, I don't know if there's a marble inside the dice, but inside of here, that if you would make this bigger, that inside of here, there's something like a marble inside of here. And that's how this turns. Because you do not see what's in the center. The 27th area, the controller in the house of B gates, is inside of here. So all movement is controlled by the B gate. Anyways, what I was trying to show you is that inside of this, inside the B gates, and this is any craps, this is 11 and 12 coming together because of what the math does. But what I just want to say here is that the beginning of pi is 3.1415, and they have to go together because of 8 and 9. And the reason for that is H and I come together. And when we work this, we're going to go 1 and 8, and then we're going to go 2 and 7. And then obviously it's 3 and 6 and 4 and 5. This 18, 2 and 7 fit inside of it. Not according to this. And I'm getting a little tired putting together stuff. I think we're going to have to end this video just to let you know that because of the Mayan cycle and the connecting of the 7s and the 13s, what I did is I went from this corner here to this corner here, from this corner here to this corner here, connecting the 13, connecting the 13. Then I drew a line, corner, 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 corner. And then I connected it. And then I did it over here. The difference between this one and this one is this one does not include a number 1 and 6, where this one does include a 1 and 6. This is 15. This is 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19. 19 and 22. You see the way this comes into this? 19 and 22. Anyways, I just want to see what I didn't talk about. This compared to this and size. We didn't talk about the Monopoly board, which is 1, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, and 48. The outside of Monopoly board, right, all the way around, right, and back to go. There's 2 levels. There's a level here, and there's a level here. There's 2 levels. Each level gets 2 squares each to equal to the design of the corners. And that'll give you 2 rows, 40 and 48 will create 88. Now the rest of them will create 80 plus the 1 in the center. So we're talking about bronze, right? So we're talking about third. When we get to 81, you're adding on what is Venus, or you're adding on 99. If you want to look at it that way, 9 times 9 will create the 81. If you want to talk about Venus, it'll create 1881, in fact. And this will create this. 8 and 8 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7. Bring it down to its final gate. I just want to do something over here. This is going to be 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Just want to see what that looks like. So the next one over here would be 56, and that would be 2, and then 64, and that would be 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I get that right? 56 and 8, 64. I'm trying to understand just the formation, and after that is hold on a second. 72 would be 9, and then 80 would be 8. Right. Anyways, let's just, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm going to go through the rest of the 6, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if I got that right, but anyways, there is one of the designs that I was working on that came out to 16, 12, which is purple. It came out to 16, 12, 8. Let me see what it was. 16, 12, 8, and I don't remember the last one. But when you break them in half, it ends up to be 864, which is the 108 times something about the Earth to the Sun. Apparently, the diameter of the Sun, 86,400 or 86,400 seconds in a day, or whatever, with the 0 plus or minus. There's a lot of things going on, you know. I'm going to take a look at what's going on here. We're going to end it. Yeah, well, it goes like this. When you go, I'm going to show you it again. I'm going to do it a little bit slower. So when you go around the Monopoly board and follow this whole thing, it goes up by 8s. And the center one here is 1. And then when we go around the center, it becomes 8. And then when you go around this center over here, right, it becomes 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got 5 here, you got 3 here, and you get 5 here. 5, 3, 5. So if you want to understand where 5, 3, 5 might mean, 5, 3, 5 is what's surrounding of what is 3, 1, 3. What is 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1? Going around the square here, right, is 3 areas over here to 1 area over here to 3 areas over here to 1 area over here. And then when you go around the other way, you end up with 5 areas over here, 5 areas over here to what is 3 areas over here and 3 areas over here. So when we're looking at numbers, we have to ask ourselves, what scenario are we in? When you go this one over here, right, you're going to go 7 over here, 7 over here, and 5 over here, and 5 over here. So you have now electric company running with what is the moon. See the 5s? Female, and then you jump to what is the male. And 5 and 5 is 10, and 1 plus 7 and 7 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5, 5 and 5 is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1. And this is how I build the scenario with the Monopoly board. But there's also this scenario over here, that if I should begin this way, right, I'm going to go with 4, and then I'm going to have 1, 2, 4, 4, 2, 4. And you remember I was talking about 24, the cat? Well, the cat comes into this one, but the moon comes into this one, and it creates a gateway. So how do I get this and this together? Well, what we're going to do, I'll make it easy, is that here's 9. That's what this one would be, because there's a center dot. And I would use these 4. Then I'd use these 4. Then I'd use these 4. And then I use these 4. Each one is a window. Now, if you want to look about window, the word window equals to 88. And you know what's ironic about that? A, B, C, D equals 10. E, F equals 11. And now the pole. This is the ring, and this is the pole. They each equal to number 48. How do I get that? Because ring, pole, ring, 18 plus 9 plus 14 plus 7. 7 and 14 is 21, 30, 48. Pole, 16 and 15 and 12 and 5. 31, 41, 42, 43, 48. 12, 12, 3, 3. Now, if you want to see the artwork that goes with what is 3 times 3 and 3 plus 3, 3 times 3, 3 plus 3, 6 and 8. Sorry, 6 and 9. When we do the artwork to it, and then we finish it off and create the propeller if you want. And then there's one way in this way or this way and this way. And you can keep doing the same thing, and we can do it this way, and we can do it that way. So we end up creating what is 6 and 9, and it creates an 8. And it's also what is the percentage key, also be noted to be 7, 3, and 2, because they use the abbreviation, so we can use the same numbers. That's it. I'm done. I'm done. Hold on. Where's the 16 and 15? Where's this? 10-4, the ring. 10-4, 10-4 could be. Well, we're not looking at real numbers. I'm just trying to understand that. Where did 50? Oh, right. 31, 43, 48. Right. Okay. Now the difference between 188 and 1188 is one is 3 numbers and the other is 4. See, this one's 4. This one's 3. This one's going to work with 1 dot. This one's going to work with 2 dots. This is going to create a window. See, 4 creates the window. 3 creates the little window in the center. 4 creates offset windows because, I mean, it's 4 of them. That's what you're going to have. You're going to have a cross when you look at it. It's not going to be any window in the center. The center is going to be a cross, right? With Mars. Mars becomes the cross. And now, if everything is switched like this, right? If everything is tilted on an angle, that changes the whole story. Now we can say Mars is number, now we can say that Earth would be, well, Mars is always a single line, but it's this line or this line, right? That's the only way Mars can come in, is like this. If we're going straight with 2 straight lines and 1 straight line, Mars gets a single dollar sign, the Earth gets the double dollar sign. Mars is 51, Earth is 52, Mars is 6, Earth is 7. Way far out. What would you say you may have missed? Because I'll go back over it. And I'm still trying to understand that there is a math thing that I'm. It's not concrete, but when you divide 3 by 1, it becomes 0.333. When you create 4 divided by 3 or 3 divided by 4, it becomes 1.333. So because it says 1 point, and when you get to the 5, it says 2 point, and then over here it says 1. The minute I get to 1 with any number, I'm always regarding it on this level. If it was a 0 or 2 numbers, I might regard it on this level, because on this level there is nothing before the decimal. Also noting that we have to understand that when you have change in your pocket, it's point and 2 numbers. But when it becomes in the hundreds, there's a comma. There's 3 numbers and a comma. So again, 3 comma to the next level. So it's not only me that's creating this, it's been created for us. The other thing I just didn't show is this one. What is it? There's 4 down here, and 4 here, and 4 here, and 4 here, and crossing over is 1, 1, 1, 1. Then there's 4 here, and 4 here, and 4 here, and 4 here, and there's 0 crossing. See, there's nothing in between because it's an in-between area space. You see, there were no crosses. 8, 4, 2. This one is, sorry, this one's 4, 4, 4, 4. This one's 4, 1, 4, 1. This one over here is 3, 3, 3, 3. So if you notice the difference between 3, 3, 3, 3 and 4, 4, 4, 4, these are polar of each other. But note that, look at that. There's a square here and a dot here, so this cannot go to the center of this. It has to go off to the side. It has to be fit exactly. So the star is going to be fit crossing over. It's going to be crossing over to one side or the other. Maybe that's the reason our heart is on one side or the other. And this one can fit inside this one. So we know that 333 fits into 1414. This one will have to be offset into that one. And again, the Earth, the diameter of the Earth is 5.5 times 1440. Also note that when you add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, it equals to 78, and you arrive at the Queen. The Queen is the 12th card for the Bar Mitzvah. 156 moons have passed. 1, 5, and 6. 1, 5, and 6. 1 plus 5 plus 6 is 12. When the man comes out for Bar Mitzvah, it's 1, 6, 9. So that equals to 6. So the Bat Mitzvah will equal to 3, and the Bar Mitzvah equals to 6. 6 and 3 come together is 9. And they will recreate what is in the house of Beit, because only 3 and 6 will create this numeric value. 3 times 6, 18. 1 and 8 is 9. 3 plus 6 equals to 9. 18 and 9 is 27. 27, 72. The house of Beit equaling to 99, recreating the numeric value, okay, for 18. Venus, the house of Harry, the house of Harib or Karib, 3 and 6. 18 by 18, I think, is 342. Again, back to our vibration. It is 18 is the end of one thing, 19 is the beginning of other. When you reset the alphabet to where A is 6 and Z is 31, 3 and 1 is 4, what happens is S and R will lock and replace what is now M and N will now be R and S coming together, R9 and S1. Right, 1 and 9 come together, AI come together when you move the alphabet over. But we do note that we're only living on one part of an area. Now, if we split the part between two sides, okay, through 1 and 9, it's I have to start writing this. It's too much. I have to look a little bit deeper. Yeah, upboot Venus Harry with an I. Yeah, Venus Harry, H342. So now another thing I wanted to talk about is usually, right? Usually certain numbers are always going to be perfect. So 114 times 3 is 342. Now we have to divide it by 2, by 3, and by 4, because that's what we are. That is our vibration. So that's we work 2, 3, 4 on one side, 6, 7, 8 on the other side. Leave out 1, 5, and 9. Just leave out 1, 5, and 9. A, E, and I. 1, 5, and 9. Harry, right? And so that Harry or IR is 27. Believe it or not, ET is 25, but BET is 27. Ball is 27. 3 numbers that add up to 27. I'm just going to try and think of 3 numbers. I'm going to use the letter E. Let me see. No, 23, 25. Okay, the word bet equals to 27. If we use I, that's 9. I need 18 more so I can go. I'm just trying to think of all the words that add up to 27. There's so much. 27 is also for red. 27 also fits into DC. 13 and 27, adding 13 to 27, it creates a numeric value of 40 for the blue planet. For the numeric value of 40, it also creates democratic or demolition to where Republican is now repossession. Anyways, I'm going all over the place. And 864 and a bunch of zeros, half of that is our vibration 4, 3, and 2. Anyways, peace, love, and out. If anybody wants to help support the channel, that'd be great. Get some more dice, get some more pens, get some more books, and keep me in front of my desk. Anyways, peace and love. If you got something to say, you can write me or leave me a message on here so everybody else can see. I know ball isn't ball 27? Yeah, ball's 27. Ball is 27. And you know that ball in all is all in ball, because 1 and 2 is 3. the L is 12, 1 and 2 is 3, so both L's are both 3, 3, and 1 and 2 is 3, so ball is 3, 3, 3. All about threes. The minute you go to 4, you're on the other side. When you go to 4, you're on the other side. So if we take away 1, I don't know how to do it because, oh God. Give me 1 second. I want to see something. Just give me a second. Yeah, okay. Because I didn't want to delete this video until I see if it was gonna. I see it now. When you get to 207, right? 207. I like to look at sometimes 207 and say also 107, because 1 and 2 have to go together as 3. It's creation. Bringing now to what I have to understand is I know it's a gate. When 2 of them come together, it'll now create 3 and 5. 107 and 207 creates 305. So I want to understand, should I leave the 7 the same? Should I not? It's almost like in time, right? Like right now it's 10:13 on your Eastern Standard Time. The reality is it's also 8:13, right? So now we have to understand that it's 493. Did I get that right? 8 times 6 is 480 and 13 is 493. So we're in something to do with the mirror of Saturn, 49, where Mars comes in with Pluto. Creation is also in that element. Anyways, it has to be discussed. I can't keep going over this. Cheers, peace. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and 1013. Oh my God, MJ. They connect together, 10 and 13. But you know what? But it depends how I'm shifting my alphabet. It equals again number 23. Number 23 is number 11, and we start all over again. Why is 23 11? 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 is 6 and 5, 11. And what's ironic about that is the 23rd hour is also 11. Subway, or how about SUB? Did you know that the names of the moons of Mars, if I said phobias and demons, well, the moons of Mars are called Phobos and Deimos. You're welcome, Becky. So those are round glasses. Okay, I'm not going to go over that because I'm like burnt out here. Thank you. Listen, we're not finished. I'd like to really and truthfully, it would be so good if I can get someone to create me a program that I can put all the equations that are in it. And just at the end, I'm just going to split off where some of the equations come from. The chess or checkerboard, okay, is 8 by 8. But in reality, each side of the chessboard is 4 by 8 to their own zone. Also noted that in chess, there are only 6 different, actually, there are 12 different because there are 2 colors, and each opponent has only 6 choices or 6 words that they will say: king, queen, pawn, rook, knight, or whatever, or the queen. Did I say that? There's only 6 of them because I think there's 8 pawns. Anyway, so that's one equation. Then the other thing is how all the men move. There's the small Monopoly board, which has 121 areas, or 11 by 11, or the large board, which has 169 areas, or 13 by 13, which also reduces to 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, 3 and 4 equals to 7, to where the small board goes 1 times 1, 1 plus 1, and the small board will equal to 3. So 3 and 7 when you bring the 2 boards together. One of the boards will only have a square for each property. If you want to talk hockey, you talk about periods, you talk about 3 periods. Therefore, in order to complete something with 3 periods, it has to be 3 times 120 equaling to 360, because that's what we were taught. We also have to note that the reality of a lot of things is the U-turn is turning around. So that would be 180 degrees. So if you go 360 degrees, you went all the way around, you're going in the same direction. So everything is cut in half. We also have to know that we can cut a square in half into a triangle. We also have to note that this world we're in runs triangular because of, you can see 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 3 is 7, 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 3 is 8, 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9. And we go 1, 2, 3, and we start on the next row. And then we go 1, 2, 3, and we start on the next row. Now, if we went triangular, we'd go A, B, C, A, B, C, and D would be in the 1 position. And the reason I'm saying that, because it is in the 1 position. When you look at the rows of roulette, I'm not sure if I can, let me see if I can, sorry about that. Oh my God. You see, let me see, do I have that? Yeah, so you see I'm going to see if I can, hold on a second. So let me see if I can stick my leg out. So where you see this here, and that straight line over there, that's the row where 1 begins, and all the way down. And in that row is 10, 13, 16, 19, 22, 25, 27, 30, 33, and 36. And then I connect them together going this way and this way. I'm not sure if I should have did it that way. And the reason I'm saying that is maybe I can flip it when I go further down the board this way, like the first 9 numbers are 12 numbers, the next 12 numbers, and then the next 12 numbers. I'm saying that because the leap year is in the 4th year, and then we start 4 fresh new years, 3 years in 1 year. So I have to try and understand what's going on when we get to the leap year, the same way the way our alphabet starts over with your triangle. Also to note that if you go to the bank machine, right? Also to note that if you go, I just want to see, I think I missed something here. Also to note, if you go to the bank machine, right, you'll see on number 1, you'll see the Q, and you'll see the Z. The Q is 17, the Z is 26, 17, 1 and 7, 8, 26, 2 and 6, 8. 17 and 26 is 43 DC, creates number 7 on number 1, again, 17 again showing up. And you've removed it from number 7. Number 7, you removed Q. When you had Q, you had PQRS. Now you have PRS. P and R is 34, and S equals to 53, electric company. And when you go, actually, it's a fitting, it's a puller to electric company. And when you go over to 9, which was once, I think, 72, hold on, no, it was 90, W, X, Y, Z. W and Z. Oh, it's 98. It's 98. Take away 26 is now 72. Becomes the house of bait, number 27. So it becomes 35 and 27. Now, if you want to go to 35 and 27, 35 and 27 now creates number 23, creates 5 and 5, 8 and 9. This is what it turns into. 53 and 72, the 7 and the 9. Also to note that in numbers in French, both 70 and 90 are not said as 70 and 90 as we do in English or in other languages. We go 60 plus 10 through 19, or 11 through 9, 10 through 19. And in 90, we don't even go to any of that. We change completely everything around. After 70, everything stops. And 80 is completely different, and so is 90. 80 is 4 times 20, and 90 is 4 times 20 plus 10. And note that number 81 is not like any other one. It's 81st in English, 71st and 61st. When you get to in French, 71 is not 71, it's 11. They say 60 and 11. And 91 is not 91. They say 420s and 11. But what happens, they do say 81, but they don't say it like 51, 41, and 31, because in French they say 30 and 1, 40 and 1, DNA, or ET, A1. When they get to 81, they say 81, they're saying 81, 421. 421, that's what they're calling it, 421. Now, if you look at it and multiply it, 4 times 21 is 84. You're down to Pluto. You're down to 4 cubes. You're down to 3 cycles of the moon. Moon is the man on the moon.
Man and moon equal to the total at 95 equals to Neptune. Neptune is 5 and 9. E and I come together. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, equaling to 6 and 8, the dividing gate, man on the moon. But this all still has to be discussed. Man on the moon, moon needs to have number 19. So therefore, A and I is divided through number 5. And I believe that's here. Where are we? See, 51, 21, and 31 are all said with the letter ET in it, but not 81. 81 just goes 81 in French. It goes 420s and 420 and 1. Neptune is number 95. And what's funny about Neptune, if you take a look, it ends and begins, right, with NE. And that is number 19, which equals to 1. The last 2 letters equal to 1 and 1, or 19 and 19, right? So they're talking about beginning with the moon and ending with the moon. And in between, you have the P-tune, the une, U-N-E in it, says number 1 in French. I have to look at it. T is used for a gateway, 1 gate. But it's in the heart. How many letters are there? 95. Anyways, 421. 421 is bad. It also says bad. 42 is a gateway, and it's a gateway through 1, the heart, 3.5. So I like to say, again, back to the moon. All the moon and the sun. Yeah, AI 5, yes. Yeah, 95 is Neptune. And we also have to note, where are we going to put 95, you know? Hold on a second. Okay, so I'm going to go over here, right? And I don't want to count this side. We're just going to count this side over here. Here's number 7. And I did this before. I wish I can color on here. Is there any way to color on here? Anyways, oh, I can show you it on my paper here. Hold on a second. So you see what that looks like, right? So what happens... What happens is, here's number 7, and here's number 5, and here's number 5, right? 57 is the moon and the gate, right? What happens is number 6 goes over here, and number 6 goes over here. You go up and down, 5, 6, 7, 6, 5. And then over here, halfway, because everything is going by 2s. When I close this one over here, this area over here is number 9. But the area so let me do this. Okay, the area over here, this is 6, this is 6, and this one is 8. Number 7, hold on a second, did I do that right? No, sorry, number 7, this is number 7. Number 8 goes right here. Number 9, I'm going to show you where it comes out. Number 9 is both in here and here. And then what's across from here is number 5. So you have 7, 8, 9. 8 is halfway, 6 is halfway, connecting the odds and the even numbers. And then over here is 11, which is now 2. And then over here, where man comes in at 13, 1 and 3 becomes 4. And then when you finish this off, I know I'm not straight right now. This is 3, and this is 1. This is 7, and this is 9, right? 9 and 5 go together. And then over here where 3 comes in over here, I'm just trying to see, this is number 3. I'm just trying to see. 3 comes in with 11. I just want to see 7, 9, 11, 13. 7, 9, 11, 13. 1 and 3 is 4. Shows you your gate is right over here. And now anyways, to connect the rest of these, 6 goes over here. Connecting 3 and 5. Connecting 3 and 5 is with number 4.
Connecting 1 and 3 is with number 2, and connecting 5 and 7 is with number 6. And then it goes down the other way, the same thing. It goes 6, 4, 2, 6, 4, 2. 12, 12. What connects 7, 5, 3, and 1 is 16. 16 and 12, 16 and 12, 28. Cycle of the moon. And then you have your, anyways, your number 7. Actually, should we do it that way or should we not? I don't want to mix anybody up. See, when we start with 1, 3, 5. And that's the expression of, I like to say, matter and energy. And also the sun. This numeric value for the sun. The numeric value for this letter over here is 135. The division of the alphabet is 135. The orange pull, the orange ball and pull is a 13 and the 5, and it equals to 18, which runs through the sun. And it's the Third Reich. 3 by 18 equals to 54. 4 by 18 into the house of Bates, 72. 3 by 17 equals to 51 Mars. 4 by 17 equals to 68, the divided house. 19 times 3 is 57, the moon. 4 by 19 is 76, the spirit of 76. This is where we lost our place, inside the electric moon. And anyways, everything has to be discussed, right? We all have to discuss. We have to throw things back. I'm going over things pretty quick right here. So let me end it. I'm not going to show no more numbers. I just want to end it with just a few more things. When you add up, right, in the game of pool, there's 15 balls. Now, when you add up 1 through 5, it equals to 15. When you add up 2 through 6, it equals to 20. Those are your reverse on the cube. They're obligations of your high and low. Here's your 2 and 6. Here's your 1 and 5. You'll never see more than 5 numbers because it's always going to be sitting down. So this is going to be 14 and 6 equaling to 20 with 1 on the bottom. And then when we put it to this one, where we have the 2, right, we're going to have the 5 in the bottom. We're going to equal to 16. 4 goes around the bend, plus 2 is 16, with 5 in the bottom equaling to 21. At the same time, when you see the 2 on this angle, you automatically know that the 4 or the 3 is up. But when you see the 2 on this angle, you automatically know the 1 or the 6 is up. So here's the 6 and here's the 1. And here's the angle. And the angle is going off this way. So they're giving you direction in this. Note that here's one I like. Here's one I like in French, right? When you add up 1 through 15, okay, which is the letter O, it equals to 120. When you add up 1 through 20, it equals to 210. The 20th letter is the letter T. Oh, I think I did that over here. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, so when you add up 1 through 5, okay, it equals to 15 O. The 5th letter is the E. When you add up 1 through 6, right, it equals to 21 U. The 6th letter is F. If you write it out, hold on a second. When you write it out, you get that. And if you look that up in the French dictionary, it will say this. This will be the game of pool, and this one will be the game of darts. The game of darts runs at, sorry, where did I get this from? Hold on a second. I think I did it over here. So the game of darts, the game of pool gets this one over here. Here's pool and here's darts. That's the difference between the two. They're both the same. They both connect to the moon. One is 15, the other one is 20. So I have to try and think what the design is going to look like besides the table. Also to note that on a pool table, because of the pockets, right? Because of the pockets, there are certain letters that you could and cannot create, right? Like I can connect these pockets like this if I want. So there's certain designs you can do on a pool table. So if we have hockey or basketball, or you have NFL or CFL, or you have 4 downs, and here you have 3 downs, or you have baseball, where the 7th inning stretch, you have 18 and 21 outs, 9 and 3. You have Angels. You have 10. You have arrived at 6 times 3 and 7 times 3. Mars and Earth meeting at 33 in the light of birth in rotation. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3. And here's your freedom mark. 7 times 6, 7 plus 6. 13 and 42, 55. Not only that, 7 times 6 is 42. 7 plus 6 is 13. If you add them together, right, it adds up to 55, right? Which is ironic because we started with 6 and 7 and we created all these numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7. So in hockey, you have 20 minutes times 3 periods. In basketball, you have 12 times 4. In NFL, you have 15 times 4. In soccer, you have 90 minutes or 2 by 45. Those are passages. The reason I use this as a passage because it says Fox, and I always referred to Fox as a place that you go on the front line. Also note that to create X and O, this word is also 666. When you add them all together, it equals to 45. 9 times 5 and 9 times 6 will create 45, 54, 99. So the passage is in the sun. To your vibration of 2, 3, and 4, to what is 666, to your 90-degree angle. I don't want 100. I'm working with 90 because it's perfect in hockey. When you work with other sports, 60 is what's perfect. 60 in hockey. I say 90 because we only have 3 periods. The other sports, I have to work on 4 times 90 equals to 360, to where hockey is 3 times 120 equals to 360. Maybe I didn't explain it right. Here's where Mars comes in, 4 and 9. The basketball is 12 minutes, right? So it's 1.25 times what is 12 minutes. Did I get that right? Do I have that calculation right? 1.25 times 12 equals to, yeah, that's right. So your 1.25 represents of Earth and Mars, and I like to go yo. Yo is the 25th letter. O is the 15th letter, where 1 and 2, your gate creation. 78 or 87. Just to note, October, I think is 78. When you add up 1 through 12, it's 78. October, I think, is 87. Number 12, I think, is 87, and that's created from 17. 1 times 7 equals to 7. 1 plus 7 equals to 8. And that gateway is created in October. Noted that October is also noted as JC in October. And the reason for that is October is the 3rd and the 10th month, pending which end you're counting from. So you have the 3 downs to the 4 downs. Again, the difference between DC and this is 0, 3. I'm always trying to understand a little bit when I use numbers 0 through 9. You know, there's 2 sets of numbers. There's 1 through 9. There's 1 through 9, which is a set of numbers, and then there's 10 through 19 is the other set of numbers. There's two sets of numbers in this, and I'm not sure how to intertwine them exactly. But in this set of numbers, shows up 7, 8, and 9 play in both these areas, and it's only because the French will say 10 and 7, 10 and 8, 10 and 9. So it's not always relevant. We can't always see it. And this one is where Mars comes in. I like to say Mars 34 DC. I like to say the sun, okay, and the house of bait. And then this is the moon. And this is the dividing of the house, right? And this would be, no, this is the spirit and the moon. The spirit moon, let me see. Spirit moon, it's also AI, and it's because, hold on a second, 57, 76, 95, inside of Neptune on the farm. EIEIO, 59 minutes, 59 seconds. And also note that when you write this, you can also write this. And the reason for writing this is the 5 and the 2 are the same, as well as the 6 and the 9 are the same. So you can use the whole projection of it. So when you're doing this, we can, I'm just trying to think, because this does a lot of things. Anyways, the 62 represents the Queen, and the 51 represents Mars. So the polar, right, to what is Mars is the Queen, and I'll show you that right here. See, the polar to Mars is the Queen, so here's your 2 and 6. So how can it be a polar? It's if I took the 2 dice, and I just flipped them over, and 5 and 1 are on the other side. And then there's the mathematical equations that go out this. Pluto's number 84. And Pluto connects to the ring. You know, the 4th finger ring, Mars, is also the 9th finger for Pluto. This is number 13. This is number 8. This is number 3. And this is number 18. Fingers and toes, 20. Then there's the 2-minute penalty. There's the foul ball. Baseball is not 360 degrees. You only use one part or one area in baseball, and it's usually the straight lines from the plate. So you're using one part. It's not a closed-in area like this. It doesn't become more linear. So you're using 1/4. Cat on 8, 5, 1, and 2, more like memory. The cat goes for memory, 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, 8 and 6. You know, it has to be discussed. I know the cat goes with Venus because it's 3 letters. I know the cat is a part of Earth sign. When you write the cat, you can also do it like this. You can also write cat this way. That's the house we're in. You know, when you write an email, because when AT go together, you can put that sign because we were taught that sign. You know, over the last hundreds of years, we're always moving forward in the game, you know. And this game, according to all these pieces that I have, tell me that there's some supercomputer built somewhere connected, and it must stay cold. If it doesn't stay cold, it'll start melting the polars. And if it, in the game that I've created, so when the computers get hot, they shut down. So we have to watch out for our power grid in the game, right? That I'm playing, the game that where the truth comes out of the realities that were created. So once the computer starts to get hot, it starts to melt the polars. They need more power. They need more cold. They must remove and cool down, or it's going to melt icebergs, releasing new frozen intelligence. Every time the ice melts, we get more intelligent. It's almost like it was frozen in ice over time. You haven't noticed what's been going on, how much smarter we got over the time, and how fast the icebergs have been melting. Supercomputers, they need to change for new source
a new source of transmitting information, but there's not enough energy, so they need a new way to do it. And there's many new ways. And if you ever take a look at an LED light, it uses like 1/20th of the amount. But then there's all these other things that go along with it, what it could do, what it can't do, what is counteractive to it. By building one thing, you must destroy something else. Obviously, if you want to, I'll give you a small example. You have a bottle full of water and you want to drink, so you're going to have to take out some of that water from the bottle, so there'll be no more water in the bottle. And it's the same thing when you go into a mine and you go get something. You have to use that energy to go and get it. So there's always a cost to all of this. Time is number 47. 4 times 7. 47 is time, and it comes from number 52. But I'm done. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't hesitate if you want to support Colts, Cats. Oh, I don't put the T in it, but if you do put the T in Cats, then what you're actually saying is it's first, because or last, because when you have S and T together, it's first or last, because in the abbreviation for first, S and T comes together, and S and T is number 39. So again, we're back to the angels. We're back to anyways, I'm burnt. I know everybody else is. Take care, everybody. I'll be back. I'd like to make a program that puts everything together, because every game that ever existed and every mathematical problem that's ever existed and every single word that's ever existed, we created an artwork through. That's it. Done. Bye.